Hello. All right, lots of new names. Hi, everybody.
Everybody, hello, hello.
Thank you so much for joining. It was a beautiful day here in Toronto today. I hope it was beautiful where you were as well. Signs of spring. Lindsay, how's it going in, no signs of spring in Halifax today? That's too bad. Karen, hello. I just followed you on Instagram. Nice
Yay.
to see your face.
So great to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. All right. We've got more people coming in. Great. Looks like we're going to be up to about 30 people or close to it when everybody's in here, which is awesome. Just give a few more minutes and get started at 5 after. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being so prompt. I love it. Every time, everybody is right on time. It's great. We've officially made it through winter, which is exciting. I'm talking about spring for the second time already tonight, so you can see how excited I am about spring. All right, still letting a few people in here. We'll get going. Okay, Kelsie, if you want to get going.
All right, welcome everyone. It's so great to see everybody here today. We've got about 60 people registered. We're at about 30 right now, so I think there's a lot more to come. Great to see everybody. If you're not on camera, feel free to join on camera. It's always so nice to see everybody's faces.
Yes.
So today, we're going to do something a little bit different. So this meeting is going to take place in both English and in French. So to have a strong industry, Erin and I feel that we as Canadians really need to work together, and we can't let language be a barrier. So I'm going to be speaking in French today. I'm very excited. It's going to be my first time speaking in front of a crowd in French. So please bear with me. So, aujourd'hui, nous faisons quelque chose de différent. Cette réunion se déroulera en anglais et en français. Pour avoir une industrie forte, nous devons travailler ensemble. Nous ne pouvons pas laisser la langue constituer un obstacle. Alors, Yannick et Marie-Claude, bienvenue.
Merci. Thank you.
So today's guest is Yannick Achim, and we're going to be speaking in both French and English. Yannick is joined by Marie-Claude, who's going to be translating Yannick's responses, which will be in French into English, and I'll be asking questions in French. Erin will be asking them in English, and together we'll see how it goes. We're very excited.
It's not that I don't know any French, but really it's better for everybody if I just don't bother at that point. Trust me.
So Erin, over to you.
Yes. All right. Welcome. Thank you so much, Yannick and Marie-Claude, for joining us tonight, giving us some time. I know we're all super busy, especially leading up to Easter. I know it's a very busy week in all of the shops across the country. So thank you very much for joining us. We're really excited to have you tonight. First, we want to ask you a little bit about, we've got Phil Labbé joining. That's exciting. Let him in. we'll ask you a little bit about who you are and your history selling cheese in Canada, and why did you decide to become a fromagère, a Marchand-Fromager, and tell us about your history in that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, Kelsey's going to speak in French. The question is coming in French after.
Alors, nous sommes très heureux de soutenir le premier concours de meilleur fromage canadien. Avant de parler du concours de fromager, pourriez-vous nous parler de vous et de Yannick Fromagerie?
Yes, thank you very much for that. I speak in French. I'm sorry for my English. I'm really better in French, but I have a very good translator here, and
I'll do my best.
yes. Merci infiniment pour la tribune, pour commencer.
So thank you for being here and for letting me talking to all of you.
Qui est Yannick Achim, qui est Yannick Fromagerie. Donc, j'ai commencé à travailler dans le monde du fromage, j'avais autour de 18 ans.
Okay, he started working in cheese world when he was about 18 years old.
Et la première fromagerie dont j'ai fait l'achat
He bought his first cheese store
à Saint-Jérôme en 1995, donc j'avais déjà 21 ans.
in 1995 in Saint-Jérôme, that's in the Laurentians in Quebec, and he was 21 years old at that time.
Excusez-moi. C'était une toute petite fromagerie. On avait environ peut-être 25 produits à commercialiser. Il faut savoir que, à titre d'exemple, les fromages haut de gamme qu'on avait à ce moment-là, c'était le Jarlsberg, par exemple, ou le Saint-André.
Okay. So it was a very small cheese store. They were selling about 25 kind of cheese. And at that time, the very special cheeses were like the Jarlsberg or the Saint-André. That was the top of the someone is very happy there.
Christophe is the national distributor of Jarlsberg. He's happy about it.
Donc,
oui, merci beaucoup. C'est encore très spécial aujourd'hui. C'est encore un des meilleurs fromages. Merci beaucoup.
Mais c'est pour montrer à quel point le marché a beaucoup évolué. Et j'ai envie de vous dire, ce sont les questions des consommateurs qui m'ont amené à faire ce que je fais aujourd'hui et qui m'ont amené à pousser plus loin les connaissances autour du fromage.
So now there are a lot more cheeses that of course, that they sell, and it's from all the questions that came from the public, from the clients, that Yannick started to try to find the answers and understand better all the cheese world, so that he can just answer his clients.
Aujourd'hui, on commercialise environ 1000 fromages tout au cours de l'année. Ça nous amène à 400 fromages hebdomadaires.
Okay, so now he has about 1,000 kind of different cheeses that he sells throughout the year. So it's about 400 different kinds per week.
Et
that are available.
Et on commercialise à travers 5 fromageries, donc 3 boutiques à Montréal, une boutique à Québec et la boutique principale à Saint-Jérôme, dans les Laurentides.
Yeah, so he has 5 cheese stores. Now, one in Quebec City, 3 in Montreal, and 1 in Saint-Jérôme, the very first one that he bought in 1995 in the Laurentians.
Et pour faire le lien avec le concours national, la porte d'entrée à l'international a été pour moi le concours mondial, le premier concours mondial de Marchand-Fromager en 2005, qui était à Lyon, en France.
Okay, so to do a link between all of this, his first, he participated to the very first contest of the Cheesemonger contest in 2005 in Lyon, in France, and that was his kind of a first entrance to the world of cheese over there, to start to be known for his cheese store here.
Et même si on a pu atteindre la 4e place seulement à ce moment-là, sur 12 pays, beaucoup de portes se sont ouvertes après ce concours-là, beaucoup de contacts aussi. Le réseau s'est multiplié par 10 juste en participant à ce concours-là.
Okay. So he finished 4th on 12 participants that year, but just to be there and the visibility he got and all the contacts he got from that special event, it's worth it all. It opened many, many doors at that moment for him.
This is it.
And so that is a perfect segue for us to the second question. Thank you, Yannick. I just learned a whole bunch about you and your history in cheese. That's excellent. So the Best Canadian Cheesemonger Competition is similar to the Mondial du Fromage in Tours, France, which is also the main prize for the winning competitor. For those in the collective who may not be aware of the Mondial du Fromage, can you please explain that style of competition?
Et encore, le concours du meilleur fromager canadien est similaire au Mondial du Fromage à Tours en France, qui est le prix principal décerné aux concurrents gagnants. Pour ceux du collectif qui ne connaissaient pas le Mondial du Fromage, pouvez-vous expliquer le style de compétition?
Donc, merci, Hélène. La compétition au Canada et la compétition en France est légèrement différente. C'est-à-dire que la compétition ici au Canada est de 4 épreuves, alors que la compétition du côté de la France est environ 9 épreuves dans une journée entière.
Okay, so the competition is a bit different that it will be here. Here we'll have 4 tests, 4 épreuves, if we want. And at the Mondial of Tours, there are 9 different tests, and it lasts all day long.
Il y a des épreuves, qui sont similaires en termes de prestations.
Some tests will be exactly the same.
Mais il y a un volet créativité qui est un peu plus important du côté de la France.
Okay, but there a whole side of creativity that is a bit different in France. A little bit more tests are on that than here.
Évidemment, à Tours, un peu comme ici à Montréal, vous allez avoir quand même la pression du public puisque le concours se déroule dans un lieu public. Donc, la gestion du stress est à peu près la même.
Okay. Ouais. In Tours, the event is open to the public.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with the stress of having the public there while you're doing the contest. But in Montreal also, it's going to be open to the public also. So that is similar. It's a good first try.
Okay. And the competition at SIAL will be in a similar place where the cheese competition usually is held. So where there's like booths all around the floor where the competition will be.
Yes, it's a similar place where you have the competition for the cheese, cheese tasting. Yeah.
Okay, so that means all eyes would be on each participant as they are competing. Yeah. Okay, good.
Mais il n'y a pas un concours du fromage cette année. Oui?
Exact. C'est le concours de métier qui prend la place.
Okay. So there are no contests for the cheese, the best cheese this year. It's the cheesemonger contest that will take place.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So the SIAL cheese competition is now every other year.
Yeah.
Yes. So c'est
good.
So
Okay.
nothing to translate.
No.
Oui, yes.
Oui.
Okay, good. So we have a two-part question next. I'll ask both together and then you can proceed.
Yeah.
What are the requirements for cheesemongers who want to apply? And of all the applicants, 6 will be selected to compete. So how will the competitors be chosen?
Une question en deux parties. Quelles sont les exigences pour les fromagers qui souhaitent postuler? Parmi tous les candidats, 6 seront sélectionnés pour concourir. Comment les concurrents seront-ils choisis?
Les concurrents sont choisis sur la base de l'expérience et par un jury qui est différent du jury du concours.
Okay, so the selection will be based on the knowledges of the candidate and their experience. And that jury, that committee that will do the selection is different than the jury of the contest itself. It's two different.
La motivation à participer au concours, à relever le défi dans l'application va faire toute la différence pour être sélectionné.
Okay, so the requirement we can say is the motivation, the knowledge and experience, and to show the ability of the candidate to be able to in practice to mettre en pratique to do it in front of you. That's the requirements.
Le jury va sélectionner le candidat qui a le plus de potentiel de réussir à l'international. C'est ce qu'on recherche. On veut un candidat gagnant pour représenter le Canada en France.
Ouais, the winner. Fait que pas juste la sélection des 6, par exemple.
Ben, oui.
Mais after the
Non, parmi les 6.
Parmi les 6. Mais...
Les 6 sélectionnés, ce qu'on veut, c'est 6 potentiels qui puissent.
So they want to find 6 people who has the potential to be the winner, the gold champion winner to go to tour in France after that. So they're going to look for people who have the experience, knowledge, and motivation, and who can deal with stress, so that they are the champion, the winner, the possible winner.
Donc, une expérience théorique, une expérience pratique, une personne qui a des compétences en analyse sensorielle est un candidat potentiel pour participer au concours canadien.
So the candidate has to have the knowledge and the practical knowledge also, but they also have to be able to do the dégustation sensorielle.
Testing, cheese testing.
Cheese
tasting.
Yeah, tasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have to be very good in cheese tasting also, because that's one of the ultimate test.
Yeah.
So this brings us right into the next question, actually. For the best Canadian cheesemonger competition, what are the challenges that competitors must complete? If you can just walk us through the session, and Kelsie is going to say it in French.
Pour le concours du meilleur fromager canadien, quels sont les défis que les concurrents doivent relever?
Gestion du stress, avoir la capacité à...
Les épreuves, on veut connaître les épreuves.
Ah, les épreuves.
Oui. Quelles sont les épreuves? Est-ce que tu
OK.
peux nommer les épreuves?
Vous avez vraiment le détail des épreuves sur le site Internet du SIAL.
Okay, so all the details of each test is on the website, the SIAL website. It's all described there.
La première épreuve, c'est le plateau de fromage. Donc, c'est vraiment de démontrer le niveau de créativité qu'on peut bâtir durant le concours.
So the first test is to create a cheese platter to show the creativity that you have in terms of how you deal with that well, and how good it looks and how beautiful you can make it, but also well cut and everything.
Et puis, la deuxième épreuve, c'est la présentation orale. C'est très important pour déterminer la passion, l'envie de partager, de donner envie des différents fromages qui seront à présenter. En fait, ils doivent présenter qu'un seul fromage, mais toute la passion doit passer à travers l'explication.
Okay.
Ouais.
So the oral presentation is the second test. The cheesemonger has to show his passion. He has to present one cheese, but through that, you have to feel the passion. You have to feel how much he loves his job, the cheeses, and the cheese he will present. So that's very, very important.
Tu peux parler de l'expérience?
Well, actually,
yeah.
we saw... I was at the Mondial of Tour, and I saw the cheesemonger contest as the public, and there were 12 competitors, and it makes a huge difference if you are able to talk about the cheese. One of them was so passionate. He could talk about it for hours. He only had 4 minutes, but it was
awesome. That had to have been Nick Bain.
Yes, it's him.
I knew it.
He loved it, and you can tell he loves it, and so he can transmit and make you love it as much as he does. And it was a big difference between him and the other competitors who sometimes were more shy or.
Yeah. One question: competitors in Canada for the best Canadian cheesemonger competition can be only in English if they happen to not speak French?
Yes, you can speak in English for the competition here in Montreal, and you can speak in English in the Mondial in France. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
It's a two language in competition. No problem.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ouais, I think most of them were in English.
On peut mentionner que un des gagnants du podium au mondial a gagné, entre autres, par sa prestation orale qui a eu un maximum de points.
C'est ça, mais c'est Nick Payne, comme on dit. Oui,
yeah.
C'est ça. So he was, see, Nick Payne, he was in one of the final 3. And because of that, because his oral presentation was so good.
He got third place.
Yeah. But is the reason why you got there too.
He had the maximum point for this
test.
This test, and it's the difference on the podium. Yeah.
Well, we have a question. I think, Kelsie, you can read that if you'd like.
Yeah. Oui, nous avons une question de Picard. Est-ce que les questions en concours seront sur des produits disponibles au Canada, ou bien les questions pourraient être sur des AOP de tous les pays d'Europe?
Alors, il va y avoir 10 questions sur les produits canadiens et 10 questions sur les fromages AOP Europe.
So there's going to be 10 questions on the Canadian cheeses and 10 questions on the AOP from Europe.
Yeah.
And I should translate the question into English too, I guess. So the question is, will the cheese be on cheese that is available in Canada, or will it be on other AOP cheeses that are only available in Europe?
Okay. Les AOP, c'est en Europe seulement ou en France?
C'est Europe.
Okay, so I just saw another question. Someone asked if it was the AOP from France only or Europe, but it's really Europe.
Only available in Canada. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So you talked about the cheese platter. You've talked about the oral presentation and including how being passionate can really influence the final outcome. What else is there in the competition that needs to be completed?
Troisième épreuve, it's dégustation à l'aveugle, it's blooding.
Blindfold testing.
Yeah. You have vous avez 5 fromages, 5 fromages AOP, dont on doit déterminer la famille, le type de lait, etc.
Okay. So the third test is the blindfold testing. And so there's going to be 5 cheeses that you have to say which family of cheese it is, what are the milk, composing it, where does it come from, the country, but also the region.
Yeah.
And the name of the cheese,
Yeah,
of course.
if you want.
Une question. Aveugle ou les yeux bandés?
Non,
No.
le visuel est possible. Vous avez pas les. Mais c'est un petit morceau.
Yeah, so it's a very small piece of cheese.
Yeah.
So you don't see the entire
Yeah.
cheese. So it's harder to know
Yeah.
what it comes from. But yeah, you see it. You can see it.
Yeah.
But it's small.
And, la dernière épreuve, questionnaire à choix multiples, 20 questions, 20 minutes.
Ah, okay. So the last test, the fourth one, is a questionnaire. It's a list of questions, 20 questions, 20 minutes to do.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's choix multiple, multiple choices.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this next question it just pushes the previous question a little bit further. So what will the jury be looking for in the very best Canadian cheesemonger? How do they determine the winner?
Comment le jury choisirait-il le meilleur fromager? Comment vont-ils déterminer le gagnant?
Passion, créativité, gestion du stress, je l'ai déjà dit, mais c'est vraiment ce qui va faire la différence. Quelqu'un qui a envie de repousser ses limites aussi, de se remettre en question et d'aller un petit peu plus loin que ce qu'il sait déjà. Donc, je sais pas
Okay.
si... Ouais.
So passion, creativity, someone who is able to deal with stress, it is very important. And someone who wants to learn more, who wants to challenge himself, challenge his knowledge, and try to go a little bit further with his knowledge and in the world, trying to learn more. Right.
Parce que le concours, il faut le voir comme étant un dépassement de soi-même. Il faut le voir comme une envie de voir qu'est-ce qu'on vaut pour soi, pas pour les autres. C'est la première étape, c'est de voir soi, comment on se représente par rapport à d'autres concurrents, qu'est-ce qu'on peut apprendre de plus.
The contest is a way to challenge yourself, but also to try to know where you are. Not compare to the others, but for yourself, to know where you stand and how much more you can learn. And if you have to be there with open-minded and try to learn even more. But it does give you a sense of where you stand.
Okay.
As a cheesemonger.
So if you could speak to the next question on the list, it goes a little bit further again. So if you could speak to somebody maybe on the call or maybe somebody on this call tonight knows somebody who's wanting to participate and can pass this next thing along, somebody who's considering applying, what would you say to them? Why should they participate in this competition? Kelsie.
Si vous pouvez parler à quelqu'un qui envisage de postuler, que lui diriez-vous? Pourquoi quelqu'un devrait-il participer à ce concours?
Donc, je me répète, mais c'est vraiment l'envie de se dépasser, de se surpasser. J'ai fait plusieurs concours national ou mondial dans ma vie et je l'ai toujours abordé comme une expérience où qu'est-ce que je peux apprendre de plus? Comment je peux exploiter mes connaissances, comment je peux les partager, qu'est-ce que j'ai à améliorer aussi, parce que quand on voit les autres concurrents qui sont au même niveau mondial que soi, ça permet de savoir qu'est-ce qu'on peut encore apprendre, et puis c'est à l'infini de toute façon.
Mm-hmm.
Ouais.
So it's a way to, you have to participate because it's a way to challenge yourself, to go further, to learn even more, to be able to talk to other competitors and candidate, pas compétiteur, candidate, and to learn from there and to share your own experience and your own knowledge also. And it gives visibility, it gives contact, it gives relation everywhere in the world. So
Yeah,
it's a great go further in your métier, in your career.
Events like this are always an opportunity, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah.
Whether you're dead last, they're always an opportunity to learn and also to network.
Yeah.
And make new friends in the industry and have conversations with people that you wouldn't necessarily maybe get the opportunity to in other situations.
Absolutely. C'est vrai.
Ouais.
We've got a question from Alex.
Yeah, couple
Nous avons
questions
une
there.
question de Alex.
Yeah.
Est-ce que l'examen écrit est aussi dur que celle de tour?
Oui. Yes. It's similar. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's good. So people are going to be challenged is what you're telling us.
C'est difficile.
Oui, c'est un questionnaire qui est difficile parce que le questionnaire en France est un peu plus technique.
Okay.
Le questionnaire canadien, je fais attention.
So it is a very difficult questionnaire questions. In France, the questions are a little bit more difficult in the sense that they are more technical, maybe.
Yeah.
But here,
c'est plus sur les connaissances générales des différents fromages.
okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to be more on the general knowledge of the different cheeses.
Yeah.
Than very, very technical.
Yeah.
So, but it's still difficult.
Okay.
Parfait. Nous avons une question de Gertrude. Est-ce que les membres du jury peuvent marcher autour des candidats pour voir la salubrité de leur station de préparation de leur plateau? So the question in English is, can the jury members walk around and see how clean the stations are?
Oui, il y a des pointages qui sont accordés à l'espace de travail, les techniques de coupe employées. Il y a un pointage ici au Canada et aussi en France sur l'espace de travail, la façon dont la personne utilise différentes méthodes.
Right. So yes, actually they have to walk around and look at the candidate because there are some points that are given for the way each of them are working, the cutting techniques, but also the salubrité, en anglais, salubrité, cleanliness.
Cleanliness. Yeah.
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 So points are given for that. So of course, yes, the members of jury are walking around and have to look at all of that.
Okay, great.
Les mains aussi.
The hands.
Les hands.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How clean they are, c'est ça? And how we...
La façon de travailler avec des gants ou pas de gants.
Okay.
Ou, ouais,
The way to work with or without gloves and all of that is looked at.
Okay, good. So move on to the next question here, which is a question more about costs associated with the competition. So for cheesemongers wanting to participate outside of Montreal and Quebec, the costs to participate are substantial. They're looking at travel and hotel fees. And outside of that, everybody has a $300 entry fee as well.
Yeah.
All of these fees combined for somebody outside of Quebec can be a barrier to enter. Unless their employer is willing and able to offset some of the costs for them, it's more likely that on a cheesemonger salary, it might be next to impossible for them to afford. So the question is there any financial assistance available for those traveling from out of town? And are there sponsors who will provide cheese for competitors to use during the competition to help with the fees associated? And Kelsie will ask the question in French as well.
Alors, c'est une question très longue. Pour les fromagers souhaitent participer à l'extérieur de Montréal et Québec, les coûts de participation sont substantiels. Mis à part les frais de déplacement et d'hôtel, les frais d'entrée de $300 et les coûts associés à la fourniture de leur propre fromage constituant et obstacle à l'entrée pour la plupart, à moins que leur employeur ne soit disposé et capable de les aider. Existe-t-il une aide financière disponible pour ceux qui viennent de l'extérieur de la vie? Y a-t-il des sponsors qui fourniront du fromage aux concurrents pendant la compétition?
Ouf, OK.
C'est beaucoup.
Il n'y a pas d'aide financière pour participer au concours.
So there is no financial aid
Okay.
to participate.
Le tarif d'inscription est un facteur de motivation pour participer à un concours mondial.
So the fee is in itself a way to
Motivation.
prove that the motivation of the candidate to participate to a contest like this. It's
Pour ce concours-ci, on doit apporter ses fromages. C'est certain que ça représente des coûts. La personne peut repartir avec les fromages.
so it's a bring your own cheese contest. Actually, you bring your own cheese and you can leave with them after, of course. But yes, you have to.
Mais moi, je recommande fortement l'aide des employeurs et des fournisseurs aussi qui pourraient donner ou approvisionner des fromages pour chacun des concurrents. Donc, chaque concurrent doit faire des demandes à ses fournisseurs.
So he recommends that the employers help their employee to attend the contest, but you can also ask the distributor for maybe a sponsorship with the cheese. Maybe they can sponsor the cheese that you will bring to the contest. It's a way to reduce the costs.
Il faut savoir que si le gagnant, tous les frais sont couverts pour la France. Les produits en France sont fournis par le Mondial de Tours et les frais d'hébergement, de billets d'avion sont également payés. Le frais d'inscription en France aussi est payé pour le gagnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you win, once you are the winner, everything is paid for. So traveling to France, the hotels, the meals, the cheese over there, the contest fee. So it's all paid for once you are the winner. But to get to there, yeah, you have to there is a cost here in Montreal.
Pour les gens qui ne seront pas gagnants, il faut le voir comme peut-être un investissement publicitaire aussi. Parce que la visibilité, la renommée associée à une participation nationale, ça peut rapporter beaucoup pour le commerçant.
Mm-hmm. For the others who are not going to be winners here in Montreal, you have to see it as an investment.
Publicité.
Like a publicity for yourself, for your company. You come here, you meet people. It is a visibility. It's a great honor to participate to a national contest like this one. And there's going to be a lot of focus on you. So it is an investment. And for sure, there is a lot to win from just your participation.
C'est le premier concours. Il n'y a que 6 participants. Donc, toute l'attention est portée sur ces 6 candidats nationaux.
Yeah, it's the first contest. There's only 6 participants, so all the focus will be on those 6 people. And
peut-être que dans 2 ans, il y aura des sponsors pour aider les participants, Mais cette année, ce sont les conditions en place. Ouais.
So eventually, if this contest is successful and it continues in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, eventually, we hope that there's going to be some sponsors and that the costs will be reduced for the participants. But this is the first one. We have to start somewhere. And so for this year, that's the way it goes.
Il faut comprendre que jusqu'ici, chaque candidat canadien qui a fait le concours mondial en Europe a toujours payé toutes ses dépenses pour aller là-bas. Donc, c'est le compromis, si vous voulez, au niveau des coûts.
Okay, up to now, for every contest that every Canadian participate to in Europe or in the world, they had to pay the full prices, their hotel and plane and everything. So yeah, usually they pay it all. This year, the winner won't.
Et les premiers concours en Europe, on devait fournir aussi les fromages. Donc, c'était un coût très important pour l'international, alors que dans ce concours-ci, le gagnant n'a pas à couvrir aucune dépense.
Okay, so in the first contest in Europe, they have the candidate had to bring their own cheese also, which was pretty complicated for the international participants. So now they don't have to anymore in France. Maybe hopefully here in the next few years, they won't have to non plus. Huh?
Okay, that's good to know. We have a couple of questions here. Alex Forrest is asking, is the fee, so the $300 registration fee for the Canadian competition, will it be reimbursed if somebody is not selected to participate in the competition?
Je ne sais pas si vous dire la question en français. Est-ce que quelqu'un qui n'est pas sélectionné pour participer, est-ce que le $300 est remboursé?
Non.
Non.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay.
You don't have a refund if you are not selected for the competition.
Okay.
That could be a tough one for some people.
Oui.
Okay, but Girth has actually a pretty great idea here, crowdfunding for cheesemongers out there that may need some additional support. That's a great idea. I could see a cheese shop and their community of customers really getting behind a cheesemonger if they were to use their social media, the power of social media around their store to crowdfund. I've seen that happen for American Cheese Society conference funding as well. I've also seen it for CCP test writing as well. So crowdfunding is a really great way. If there's a community of people around you that want to invest in your education, your experience in some way, it can be a really good way path forward.
And hoping to have the best national cheesemonger in their own city.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty big bragging rights.
Yeah.
Okay. We will move on to second last question we have for you today. So the competition sounds like it could be a life-changing event here in Quebec and also at the Mondial du Fromage in France. Can you please tell us what the winner gets? So we've already talked about the prize, but is there anything else that you can talk about? Culture Magazine, podcasts, interviews, etc. Being a judge at the next competition, perhaps?
Et en France.
Kelsie will speak in French first.
Le concours semble pouvoir changer la vie du gagnant. Pouvez-vous nous dire ce que gagne le gagnant?
Par le prix en France, là, vraiment au niveau de la visibilité.
Oui. Ce qui est vraiment important de comprendre, c'est que juste la participation amène une visibilité énorme, que ce soit nationale ou internationale.
So he says that just the participation here in Canada or international, just that will bring a big visibility. So just that is really important by itself.
Et c'est une visibilité qui est sur du très long terme parce que la réputation qu'on acquiert quand on participe à un concours comme celui-là permet de se hisser à titre de référence.
Okay.
Ouais.
So, and it's a long-term visibility because they the reputation that you get just to have participated to that kind of contest will follow you, and you become a reference, and you become someone to talk to.
Et souvent, les entrevues, les contrats corporatifs aussi qui peuvent arriver après la participation, ça permet de valoriser le métier et de pouvoir le monnayer. Je ne sais pas si... Ouais.
So yes, interviews, yes, there might be radio, TV, writing, and also contracts with different society, the corpo. So and that because suddenly you are a reference and it brings more contract to you.
Yeah.
Ça permet de valoriser, to make the profession even better and even coming out in a great way.
Juste par exemple,
Yep.
la personne qui gagne le meilleur ouvrier de France obtient énormément de contrats parce qu'il a gagné ou accédé au concours de meilleur ouvrier de France.
Okay, so by comparison, the meilleur ouvrier de France, is it best France?
Best cheesemonger in France, yeah.
He gets a lot of knowledge, of visibility, just because he participated to that contest. Even if he didn't win, just that will bring him a lot of contract.
Yeah.
So it's a bit the same. It gives a reference, in visibility that is really important.
I mean, it would be pretty incredible to be able to say that you were the first ever best Canadian cheesemonger. That's a pretty cool title for somebody to claim this coming May.
Juste par exemple, Erin, quelqu'un qui se lance en affaires prend beaucoup de risques. Donc ici, de participer au concours, ça nécessite un risque, mais c'est un beau risque.
Yeah, just like someone who starts a business and it's a risk. And you are going in with your risk. It's the same thing. It's a risk. The contest is a risk, but it's a beautiful risk. And it can bring a lot.
Yeah.
There's a few more great questions have come in here that I don't want to miss as well. Let me just, Lindsay Cooper is asking a question about contestants supplying their own boards and tools and platter, etc. I have to say there is a lot of information available on the SIAL website. I would encourage anybody who's maybe you're thinking about this more now that you've been part of this session tonight. That should be your first stop, and Kelsie dropped the link there. It'll give you a lot more insight into the real specifics. I think the platters are being provided, right?
Les plateaux, est-ce que les plateaux sont fournis? Les plateaux eux-mêmes, l'équipement? Là.
Non, l'équipement est fourni par le candidat.
Mais même les assiettes, platter?
Oui, la personne doit créer
son propre plateau.
Créer le
planche.
Oui.
OK.
Elle doit créer sa mise en place.
Ouais. OK. Fait que c'est pas tout le monde qui part avec la même planche. Puis,
non.
OK.
Mais les spécifications sont dans l'épreuve numéro 1.
Ouais, c'est ça. So it is on the website, as you were saying, and no contestant have to bring their own cheese plate also, because they have to create. It's part of the creation they're going to do their cheese. So depending on what you want to create, there were. Il y avait over there in France, the theme was like space. So some people came with des vaisseaux spatiaux. The plate was like the vessel and the plane so it was all different. So they were.
And that's the level of creativity that you're looking for in this competition. So I would recommend, if anybody is serious about this, go back into the Instagram files of the Mondial du Fromage. There's an endless supply of pictures there from what competitors around the world brought and used for their. One more question about the platters. I know that in France, one of the components of the competition is a cheese pairing component. which is not something that we're doing in the Best Canadian Cheesemonger. But on the platters, are you looking for pairings to be an element on the platter at all?
Oui, on peut regarder s'il y a des mariages qui sont faits dans le plateau général. Absolument.
Okay.
Oui.
Ça va donner des points?
Oui.
Okay, so yes, they will look at the pairings in the cheese plate.
Yeah.
And yes, it can give more points.
Excellent. Kelsie, do you want to jump into the Alex question there?
Sure. Qui seront les juges qui sélectionneront les candidats?
C'est le SIAL qui détermine qui sera les candidats et il y a un comité dans le SIAL qui va définir quels seront les candidats.
Okay, so it's a committee that will be formed by the SIAL that will determine who the candidates are.
Yeah.
But they are not the same from the jury, from the once the 6 are chosen.
Yeah. I don't have the name for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We've got a question as well from Sarah. She's asking if each participant is bringing their own cheese to the competition, are there guidelines for the displays so there is a level playing field, or is it a free-for-all? So is there, you know, again, more information on the website, but what is your expectation around the cheese that people are bringing to the competition?
C'est quoi vos attentes par rapport aux fromages qui vont être amenés? Est-ce qu'ils peuvent amener n'importe quel fromage ou il y a quand même une certaine base que vous voulez?
Ils ont déjà ici les specs pour les choix de fromage. Un fromage.
Okay, so it's already on the website. He says all the specification for the cheeses, the kind of cheeses are there.
You have 10 cheese from Canadian production, 10 cheese from AOP from Europe, and you have 5 goat cheese, 3 sheep milk, 7 cow milk, 1 buffalo milk, and the others it's for you. But you have the details in the SIAL website.
Okay, great. There was one more question there from Alex asking, is there a limit to the number of contestants from one shop or one, you know, business, or can there be multiple contestants from the same business competing?
Est-ce qu'il peut y avoir plusieurs participants de la même compagnie, de la même shop?
Je pense que oui. Encore une fois, je ne le sais pas parce que je ne fais pas partie du comité du SIAL pour l'instant. Mais oui, il y a un potentiel de 2 personnes de la même entreprise, oui.
So yes, there shouldn't be any problem to many competitors from the same company. He's not on the jury to select the candidate, but he doesn't see why that wouldn't be possible. If there's a potential of 2 or 3 people in the same shop, why not?
Le SIAL recherche 6 candidats qui vont donner la meilleure expérience sur le site.
So the SIAL is looking for the 6 candidates that will give the best experience on the site there to show the 6 best people. So maybe 3 of them are from the same shop. Why not? All the best.
Kelsie, did you want to ask Isaac's question there?
Yes. Peuvent-ils venir de n'importe où de Canada? Alors, donc, de Quebec, de Calgary, Ontario, etc.
Oui, absolument. Je pense que le SIAL va sélectionner pour avoir le meilleur échantillon canadien de candidats, selon moi. C'est ce que je crois.
So he thinks that the SIAL will choose candidates from everywhere to have the best échantillon from all Canada.
Yeah.
So it can be from anywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
Parfait.
Thank you. Naomi has a question from the theme Cities of the World, which is the theme for this year, which I love. Will there be cities specified by the jury or can we choose the cities ourselves?
C'est ça le thème, hein? Les cités du monde, les villes du monde.
Oui.
Est-ce qu'il y a des villes spécifiques où ils peuvent choisir la ville qu'ils veulent?
Ils peuvent choisir ce qu'ils veulent.
You can choose whatever you want, whichever city you would like.
That's a pretty great theme. You can
Mais
really run wild.
Le plateau doit être significatif sur la ville. Oui.
But your cheese plate has to be has to show or mean or has something from that city, of course. It has to be related to the city you chose. Of course.
Okay, great. Okay. That's is that everything? Kelsie, I'll let you ask that. Oh no, I guess I ask it first in English. The last question that we have for you is the same question that we ask everybody who we have as a guest speaker. One question for you. What would you like to see in the Canadian cheese industry 5 years from now? Any answer that you would like to give? It doesn't have to be about the topic tonight, but it can be.
OK. Je pense... Sorry, Kelsie.
D'accord. Une question que nous posons à tous nos invités. Que voudriez-vous voir dans l'industrie fromagère canadienne dans 5 ans?
Je pense que ce qui va être très, très, très important dans les 5 prochaines années dans l'industrie fromagère, c'est la relève. Qui va prendre la relève des entreprises qui sont déjà en place? Et je crois que dans les 5, 6, 8, 10 prochaines années, ça va être très, très, très important de voir des nouveaux joueurs arriver dans le marché pour reprendre des entreprises déjà en place ou non. Donc, l'histoire nous le dira.
Okay. So he thinks that in the next 5 years, what is going to be very, very important is the relève, the next generation, the new people coming in and who are going to take over some companies or start new ones. All the nouveaux joueurs, the new players in the industry are going to be important. So
Producer or cheesemonger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I'm old.
You're thinking about succession planning.
What was the succession?
Yes, who's?
So, like,
Okay.
Very curious to see the next generation.
Yeah.
Great. That's a great answer. Thank you. Okay, that's it for our questions tonight. Kelsie and I have just a couple of other things we want to talk about. We wanted to keep this meeting tonight to an hour, so we're going to go over just maybe 10 minutes. If everybody can stick with us. Kelsie, did you want to jump in?
Oui. Yannick et Marie-Claude, merci encore. Merci encore d'avoir parlé avec nous aujourd'hui. C'est un véritable honneur de vous accueillir ici. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Je pense que ce qui est vraiment important dans un concours, je le répète, c'est la motivation de se dépasser soi-même. C'est vraiment, vraiment important et avoir du plaisir à faire le concours, avoir du plaisir à faire les épreuves pour se surpasser soi-même. C'est la chose la plus importante selon moi.
So he wants to insist on the fact that for the contest, the most important thing is the motivation and the desire to go further, to challenge yourself. And to have fun also. Yeah. Don't forget to have fun through all the different tests you are going through, but all of that to challenge yourself.
The cheese is a beautiful industry and it's a very funny industry and stay on this line. It's very important. Yeah.
I have to say thank you again. And I can't tell you how excited I am that this is happening. You know, one of my personal missions for the next 5 years is to continue to grow the community in Canada and try and connect us across a country, which is quite large with a language barrier at times. And I'm excited to see what happens with this and how we can continue to connect. Thank you so much for asking that we have this session tonight in both French and English. It's a really important step that we took to make sure that we do a better job with this as Kelsie and I move forward. So we really appreciate you taking the steps to make that happen as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So Kelsie, just a couple comments about, if you guys can stick around, a couple comments about the American Cheese Society coming up next and our next meeting.
Notre prochaine réunion aura le 27 mai et nous discuterons de l'impact du Brexit sur les importations de fromage britannique. So our next
May 27th.
Yeah, our next meetup is going to be May 27th, and we're going to be talking about the impact of Brexit on how British cheese is imported. So you've probably read about it in the news a lot. So we're going to get to the truth and get some answers.
Yeah, this is a question that I get from customers pretty regularly. What's happening with British cheese? What can we expect moving forward? And there's, we don't have all the answers, but there is information coming forward. And we're going to have an interesting guest speaker for that one as well. So I think it's an important thing to stay educated on as it continues to unfold. Yeah, and then the American Cheese Society in July. Kelsie, if you want to do a rundown on that too.
This one's going to be only in English. So a lot of times. So the American Cheese Society conference will be in Buffalo, New York, Thursday, July 11th until Saturday, July 13th. And July 11th is all going to be about Canada. We have a lot planned. We are going to do a Canadian cheese tasting degustation. July 11th from 11:30 until 12:45. So right over lunch, we're going to be sharing some of our favorites. So Erin and I are going to be doing a presentation about Canadian cheese from coast to coast and sharing some of the popular cheeses in Canada that cheesemongers love. So in the afternoon, we're going to be hosting a open networking session for Canadians who are at the conference. So that is going to be from 2:30 until 4. It's something that I've hosted for the past decade, and it's just such a great opportunity for Canadians and cheese to connect in person. And we're so excited to see as many of you that will be there in person so we can say hi to you and see each other face to face.
This is one of those opportunities that we've just previously talked about where networking, getting to know each other in person and make connections that you otherwise might not as easily make over the computer. We know that there's going to be a lot more Canadians present at the American Cheese Society this year simply because of its proximity with Buffalo. Buffalo is pretty easy to get to, even if you're in Quebec or in other parts of the country. You can fly into Toronto and it's a pretty quick drive over to Buffalo. So we are really excited about the number of Canadians that will be present at the American Cheese Society this year. And we're looking forward to seeing most of you in person.
And then that same evening is the American Cheese Society competition. The winners of the competition are announced. So the award ceremony is from 5 until 7 p.m. And we're going to be there cheering for and celebrating all the Canadian cheesemakers who win. So we really hope you can join us and celebrate, because there's always a lot of Canadian winners. And it's such a great opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments and the fantastic cheese made here.
And then more details to follow, but we are looking at putting together a pub evening that night as well, a specific location for all the Canadians that are there that would like to meet up for some drinks as well. So we've got that in the works.
They do.
Can I just unmute for 1 second?
Yes.
So I just keep waiting and waiting for the registration and find out what hotel we should book. Do you have any inside information on that? Or is it top secret?
No, nothing's top
I
secret.
can't
No,
imagine
it's not
there's
top
that many
secret. It's just
convention
that
centers in Buffalo. I don't know.
they're dragging their feet in releasing that
Okay.
kind of information. The main hotel is the Hyatt. But
Okay, the Hyatt.
the Hyatt in Buffalo, but there will be discounts offered. So I
Okay.
would wait
Just
to book it.
Hold my
Personally,
horses.
yeah, I've been
Yes.
trying to get that information as well. Yes, maybe we can somehow share that via our mailing list if something comes out earlier.
Oh, that'd be great.
That we can share with. No discount codes have been given yet. So until that
Okay.
happens, the price is pretty high still.
But registration for conference is open.
Yeah, I think it just opened.
Yeah, and actually Andrea did register us. So we have done that, but it's the rooms and the planes. I gotta get all that stuff done too. Can't wait.
This CCP and taste exam, you can apply until March 31st, I believe, is the deadline to apply for that. So if you know anybody who's thinking about doing the CCP exam or the taste exam, maybe remind them of that date. The date to apply for the competition has just passed. So we're hoping that lots of people applied, and I saw a comment there from Girth as well. I'm thinking this was probably about the World Cheese Competition in Wisconsin recently. World Cheese Competition. 38 Canadian cheeses from 8 companies were submitted to the World Championship Cheese Contest, which is in Wisconsin. It was just a couple weeks ago. We had 2 first place, 1 second place, and a 3rd place. And yeah, we can visit their website to get more details on that. Yeah, Yannick, if you would like to mention the deadline for the SIAL Cheesemonger Competition as well.
To April.
April 2nd.
April 2nd, sorry.
No, I just translated for you. Make myself useful.
It's next week. It's next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Girth, for that. It's coming shortly.
Mm.
So if anybody has any follow-up questions that you didn't get to ask, feel free to reach out to myself or Kelsie or Yannick or Marie-Claude directly. And we'd be happy to get you the information that you need so that we can help you apply to be Canada's first ever best cheesemonger. Very exciting. Okay, I think that's it. We're at 8:09 p.m. So we're just 10 minutes past our deadline. So thank you so much, everyone, especially Yannick and Marie-Claude, for joining us tonight. This has been fantastic. Thank you, Kelsie, for speaking French. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll get me next time. Maybe not.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, merci beaucoup. And everybody have a great evening. We look forward to seeing you on May 27th to talk about British cheese and Brexit and if that was a good idea or not. And then we'll see you in person in July. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
À bientôt.
Bonsoir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.